Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special bonus episode of Think Outside the Blocks, your weekly official Brickworld live stream. Blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Tonight is all about Maple Palooza. Look what I have. We're all about Brickworld Crossing tonight. Look at this. We got a
That's
special
nice.
banner just for it. Yeah, doesn't it? It looks beautiful to me as well. And what do you know? We actually have a comment. Brick Orphanage is here. Will the pumpkin juice be worth the squeeze for this poly bag? Time will tell. Time will definitely tell. I Let's go through introductions. I'm Mark Larson, celebrating Maple. This, of course, is everyone's favorite host, Ben Hauger. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I am good, and you pressured me into it, so I made you
I
run a
know.
show. It looks like this.
Maple, 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 and maple. Yeah, sounds good. That's what we're talking about tonight. I'm very pumped to have my hands on the maple minifigure. But before we get to this, I just kind of spazzed making sure that I could place 3 orders that would get me maple. So a bunch of stuff came in today. And instead of going to shop.lego.com to see what the orders actually held before I open them, so I can see like what on earth did I order? I'm just going to do it right now. So just to give
Yeah,
you an idea, I've got a
why
little
not?
pile right here and one giant closed box that I don't know what's in there. But of course we have Andrea. Is it Andrea? I don't know her name, but it's the beach cleanup.
Yeah. Beach cleanup. Is that all it's titled? Beach cleanup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually they put the friend's name in the
The
title, but they didn't
character's
with
name, yeah.
this. But I probably have a few of these in boxes upstairs as well.
Why wouldn't
So
you?
yeah, it's a friend cleaning up a beach with a. Oh, it has an otter. It has the new otter that slides down the slide.
Can't
Alternate
beat that.
candidate is here. Hello, alternate candidate. Thank you for joining us at the last minute. I got this World House, I think.
Yeah, it's called Flower Store, I
Flower store. Got
guess.
a little mini flower store. I have to say, like the roof on it is actually it's put together better than the Animal Crossing houses, unfortunately. No gaps in these. Um, and of course, we showed another copy of this because who can have too many Captain's Islands, right?
You need
I,
as many Cap'n Islands as you can get.
I think there's another one in a box upstairs, to be honest. I think I'm going to have
Okay.
3 Captain's Islands altogether. And then this bad boy popped in today as well, Julian's birthday.
Okay.
Haven't put
Yes.
any of these together yet, but it's all about, for me, it's the parts back and the figures, of course, and I'll use those parts to do whatever I want with. But however, I was putting Captain's Island together, not quite done yet, because I'm just not having the time with Brickworld Indianapolis coming up. Um, I think you got this too, right?
I did. Yes.
What a cool set! Like, what a
Have not
great.
built it yet, but excited.
Yeah, I haven't even opened it, to get the instructions and look through what parts come in it. I could do the same thing on Bricklink. But yeah, it looks. I really, really like the rock work on there. As we talked about it on the stream, it's like AFOLs are designed in sets nowadays. They
Yes.
hired a bunch of AFOLs, and you could see it. You could see it in some of these beauties like this. This is great with the waterfall coming out of the dragon's mouth, and just the light gray and olive green stonework.
And
And of course, I had.
the tree parts, of course, too. Nice little use in there as well.
Yeah, I like the different color leaves, of course,
Yep,
and I can always use some more white flowers for my cherry blossom trees. Um,
always.
and this is last time I saw this,
Hey,
it was in a spider wrap at Target.
all right, there you go.
And I got this. Was this actually a March 1st or was this January
I
1st?
I am not sure. It does have a lot of that new licky tongue leaf piece,
Yeah, the small non-slimy tongue,
the
as we
non-slimy
call it.
tongue.
Yeah,
Yes,
the dry tongue.
the dry tongue in lavender. So a
Yeah,
couple cute little houses, but some lavender leaves, and you're a sucker for lavender leaves.
I certainly am.
Who
Now
knows if those will grow on you or not? But
you, dang, whatever this is, it's heavy. Did you picked up some March 1st sets, I believe, correct?
oh yes, oh
Have they
yes.
come in yet? I think I saw your
Uh,
Maple's Pumpkin Garden. I think you sent me a picture of that on the
yes, I
phone.
I did get some, and I do have a Maples. I haven't opened it because this is your Super Bowl, not mine. But I got the Star Wars ships in today,
Nice.
as well as a medieval town square.
Oh, look what I got. I forgot I did this. Um, I'm gonna have to step back from the camera a little bit. Got to keep the dog's bed
Oh, I
open, so I don't
I
know
know
where to
which
put
one
this.
that is.
It is.
Little Monkey Kid action here.
Yeah,
Let's
this has
see
been
this.
out for. This is not a March 1st set. This is just one that I've been eyeing for a while. It is the Dragon of the East Palace.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice colors in
Some.
there. Got some crazy looking fish people
Yeah.
minifigs. So some cool stuff in here, and of course, Monkey Kid's becoming very difficult to find in the states.
Yeah, my first
Um,
Monkey Kid set actually. I think
okay,
it's always available on Shop at Home, so not that hard if you know how to get to the Lego website, right?
sure. It's shop at home, yes, and you can also. I got a couple sets at Legoland in Carlsbad when I was there with my kids last year.
Oh, fun
But
place. I
the
know that
first
place very well.
you do, yes, the first couple waves you could actually get at the Lego store. They've stopped carrying them
Oh, even at the
at
Lego
the brand
store.
stores. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right, so let me educate everybody on why I'm so excited about Maple. She's the first um, Animal Crossing villager. That's one of my villagers to be produced by Lego, and it's in a gift with purchase. And so let's take a little look at some footage of me interacting with Maple. She's running around my island in her underwear as the normal personality does. But this is what I love about her. Now, you can set a secret greeting with your villagers, and you tell them what they're going to say when they deliver their secret greeting. And for Maple, I chose "Rar, I'm a big bear." So all the normals have basically the same dialogue. So if you have a normal on one island, or if you have more than one normal on one island, you're going to hear the same thing from them all the time. I have like three crankies on this island, and several times a day I get the same dialogue, and so their personalities aren't all that much different. I don't understand why some people like certain characters over others, nor do I understand why I'm not a big fan of the normal personality. But I absolutely love Maple. I think there's something about the design of the character with the dialogue that just makes her extra cute. Plus, she's got those big old cheeks, and so yeah, that was the secret dialogue that I gave her, the secret greeting that I gave her. And then I've got one more um, bit of Maple interaction to share with you guys. And it is if you are a fan of uh, Animal Crossing, especially New Horizons, you know that oftentimes, especially at night, if you're going to go in and terraform your island, which is building cliffs and waterfalls, um, your villagers have a tendency to come to the spot where you're working and get in the way of you being able to finish. I don't know why this is part of the game. It's a cozy game, so maybe Nintendo's trying to get you to be like, yeah, just relax. You trying to finish a project? Maybe go do something else. Hey, look, check out who's in the house tonight. It's ACOB. Thanks for being here. Maple Boys, stand up. That's right. That's what that's what we're here for. It's Maple Palooza. Glad you could join us, ACOB. It's like this is you're the maple poly bag is like my box of boys. You know, it's like we got to get as many of these as possible, and hopefully, in all honesty, hopefully they come out with a lot more of the uh, um, individual character poly bags to get us some more unique characters from the game that we haven't seen yet. And again, I hope they have a CMF line as well. But so this was one night where I was trying to chunkify my waterfalls. I had a great idea for some sort of waterfall cascade to surround my resident services, and Walt came by and sat down right in the spot where the water was going to come over the edge and just connect everything all together. And when the characters sit, they don't necessarily sit for a long time. They might sit, stare up at the stars, and then get up. And so he did rather quickly, and he started fishing in the same spot. And they fish forever. But luckily for me, Maple came up and started talking to him. And if you know anything about the game, when they talk to each other, you either catch it or you miss it. But typically when they're done, they walk away. Well, they had three conversations in a row. So you can see there I have uh, Walt's catchphrase is "bitch please," and it came off of all of this. Actually, that came before that. However, because this is obviously it couldn't have come off of this happening because you don't always get a chance to change their catchphrase. So I had done that before this, so I do apologize for mixing up my events. But they're talking about what sort of food, and they ask me a question, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys get out of here!" So Maple's catchphrase on the island is "Move, bitch," because I was very annoyed with her that night. It ended up being Waltz as well for a long time, and the other people on the island picked it up. So half my Animal Crossing island on Bro Key, this is not my main island, but my second island, just kept saying "Move, bitch" all the time, and I was like, "Yeah, move out of my way." And it's not an easy thing to do to let Animal Crossing give you a swear word and a catchphrase. You got to like blend words together and like misspell things. But I was bound and determined, like, you guys move. I'm trying to chonkify these waterfalls. So Ben, you've played some Animal Crossing with your family. Are there any villages that you're excited about them coming out with?
Well, actually, my family has played Animal Crossing without me.
Oh no.
Um, but they're all so cute. I'm looking for
Yeah.
uh, some characters that might be useful
Hmm.
in other themes. I'd be interested in horses. I'd be interested
Yeah.
in. Is there a lion in the game? I'd like a lion.
Yeah, there's lions. I
Oh
I don't
yeah.
like the lion design very much. I think the tiger is better. But like what's
Oh,
interesting
that'd be
about
a
the
good one.
the characters that they've introduced is that like there's a lot of horses in the game and they've got a horse mold here, but they went with Julian, who
Yep.
is the only unicorn in the game.
There you go. He's unique. He's a unicorn.
Yeah. Did you put up this comment from ACOB about bricks and minifigs
I
having
did.
maple? Yeah.
$6. Actually, my local Bricks and Minifigs has them for $5.
Nice.
I managed to buy a few of them to bring to Brickworld to spread some joy to a few people we may know.
Yeah, I
So
think I think people are I think people are excited about the set, surprisingly. But again, Maple's one of the top. I wouldn't say top 10. Maybe she's some top 10. I would say it's top 20 to 50 in most people. She's been around the game for a while, and people seem to love a cute little bear cub. So a lot of people do like Maple, and I'm excited that that's their first special character that they're coming out with. But let's get to it, shall we? Shall we build Maple's pumpkin garden without me calling her
yes,
Mabel? That's another
absolutely.
plus.
And I'm here to man the chat if anyone has any crazy questions or needs a Nintendo tip from Mark
Yep.
or just wants to talk about how awesome Mabel is slash Maple because you have to call her Maple. Don't call her Mabel.
Yeah, so interesting enough, um, I'm gonna save the figure for last. Oh, I actually have my hands on it. I've got a maple in the house. I touched it. I'm excited. I'm excited to put it together. I'm gonna save that for last. What's impressive about this poly bag is they've got the standard in the sets for building terrain in the game. You've got two levels of terrain, the lower level and the higher level. Um, and this poly bag represents the terrain in the game, which I was really surprised by. Again, maybe maybe Maple is not the best pumpkin gardener in the world because the set does only come with
One
one
pumpkin.
pumpkin. There it is. I mean,
Yeah.
this one's sprouting, and that's something that happens in the game as well. You plant a pumpkin, and you get a little sprout coming up from it.
Nakab wants to know for you, what are your top three needed characters in Wave 2 besides KK, whoever KK is?
Thank you. And that's not one of mine. I would say out of I'm going to cheat a little bit. Out of the NPCs, the non-playable characters, I'm going to say we need either one of my two favorites, which are Celeste, which is the owl who has the astronomy and mythology expertise, or of course Ben. Who else would I want? But Pascal, the otter.
The otter, of course.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Where would we be in our lives without otters?
Yes. I also recall you saying you liked or you favored a rhinoceros of some variety.
Tank.
Tank.
That was definitely one of the ones I was going to mention. Tank, without a doubt, would be one that I really want. He's one of the jock characters, and if I really have to choose another favorite to round that out and say it's for top three, next one would be Muffy. Muffy the sheep.
Yeah.
She's my sisterly on my island. She's been there from the beginning, and I have quite an affinity for her. Now, I say she's been there from the beginning, but I got her in 1.0. And if you guys know New Horizons, you don't get the character's real house unless they're after, I think, maybe the fifth character you invite to your island. Perhaps it's the third. It's an odd number. and I didn't have her real house, so I kicked her off the island in order to and invited her back in order to get her real house. And not necessary currently because you can design their houses any way you want to with the Happy Home Designer or Happy Home Paradise. So here's the little pumpkin garden with a little second level of terrain and a pine tree. And then here she is, everybody.
And what do you think of that pine tree base? Are you a fan, or is it just kind of there? You think you'll use it in mocks at all?
Okay, I guess I'll wait to put maple together. So this pine tree,
Yeah.
not a huge fan actually.
You don't like that new piece on the bottom there for the kind of the foot with
Well, I didn't say that.
the roots coming out? Oh,
I
now you
would
gotta
say, yeah,
now
I
you
know I
gotta
got to get
touch your
behind it and
camera.
do the
That's
thing.
that's a lot
Yeah,
of work.
it is, but I'm. Ugh. Hi.
Acob says KK would sell though, right? So
Oh, KK would definitely sell. It's not my top three. He kind
KK
of
and a
annoys
box of
me.
boys, I guess.
So this, yeah, a box of KKs would be fun. Well, they do have several versions of KK. They've got like KK Slider, DJ KK. You can have acoustic KK, I suppose, in
Yeah.
a way. Studio KK versus acoustic KK. That'd be a stretch, I think. So yeah, I do like this. It gives us something new, a new shape. New shapes are always good because you can use your imagination to figure out whatever you want to use it for. But it's basically a one by one, a two by two round, sorry, with four
Little teeth.
by one plates with teeth
Yeah.
on the bottom, which is relatively reminiscent of the trees that occur in that appear in the game. But as I talked about on ACOB and perhaps here and there in our stream, I'm not a big fan of like the way they treated the trees altogether in the game, especially the palm trees, because they like there's so many good palm trees out there in the Lego universe, um, and the trees in the game are very detailed. Um, and iconic on top of it. Um, so I think
Yeah.
they could do better, especially if you consider like, especially these spruce trees, like they do grow in different phases. So just for sake of, no, I'm still going to leave her over there. Fabulan figures aren't too much bigger than Animal Crossing characters. Um, so, I maybe it's like this, whoops, wow, really just punched him in the face there. Come on, buddy. And there's Fabulan figures are so top heavy. So I mean, the head is probably going to come up to about here, because Maple has the short legs, not
Yep.
the medium with the articulation, the short legs, because she's a little bear cub, so she's one of the shorter characters in the game. So even if you compare like um, Animal Crossing, or I'm sorry, Fabuland minifigs are about the same size as regular minifigs. I don't have a lot of regular minifigs laying around since I work in Fabuland scale so much, and it's more for the chunkification of the body that you want it. Fabuland mocks in a different scale. One of the things I keep telling you, I've got to get my act together for brick shell cases to be part of Brickworld Chicago. One of the
Yep.
things they're asking for is my sig fig, but like all of my minifig parts, including my sig fig, I don't know where they are. I don't use minifigs anymore. And with blood and with moving, and it didn't happen in that order. But I mean, God only knows what happened to all my minifigs, especially my sig fig, which I used to use a lot when I was really active in Eurobricks, but not so much anymore. Um,
That's
so
the one with the brown Robin Hood hat and the hammer
in the Han Solo
Han Solo
torso and
torso.
the
Yep.
yeah. Let's get in here so we can really reveal Maple when she's ready. Um, but I think like um, one of the big things about what they've done so far, and I talked about this again on last week's episode of ACOB. If you want to hear me shout and ramble, and I'm not exaggerating, that's exactly what I do. If you want to hear me shout and ramble about my opinions and hopes for the future on the Animal Crossing line, and see a Star Wars mock I did in 2008, which had everyone's jaw on the floor. Um, Go ahead and watch last week's episode of ACOB. You won't regret it. Besides me being on there, it was a fantastic episode with quite the reveal at the end. Um, the trees really need some help. I think the entire line, more than the Super Mario line, seems to be trying to catch people in like new builders. Like Super Mario seemed to start out for skilled builders. Like this is going for people who love Mario and love Lego. Whereas this seems to be like we might get a lot of people who aren't necessarily into Lego yet that we want to introduce to this universe through Animal Crossing. So they're giving more simple builds that maybe will get more sophisticated over time. Maybe we'll see some specific release, um, more more intricate sets, more challenging builds, better designs. But I mean, especially the spruce tree. Sure, if you they're conical. So giving us a couple cones, getting the 3x3 in green is great. I don't know if that's the
Hmm.
first time we've seen it or not. Um, but we'll have a lot of those. So if you like different shapes and like shapes in new colors, um, then everyone will enjoy that. But if you look at just like the basic tree in the game, that is also the fruit trees. There's lots of leaves on them. The way the fruit comes down off of them is very realistic in the game, and they're very detailed. And all they've given us in the game is something that looks to me like the 1985 basic line, where it was like one three-lobed mold that represented a tree, except now it's brick built.
Yeah.
So I'm not crazy about this spruce tree, no.
There
But
we
here's
go.
the
Here it
moment.
is.
Here's the moment we've all been waiting for since Brickworld Detroit, where someone sent me the image of the polybag, and I got right on here and did a rather tired, slightly drunk live stream of just telling people that Maple was coming, and I called her Mabel. Um, saying saying Maple's Pumpkin Garden is a lot of peas altogether. But let's go ahead and check her out up close because she is. Come on, come on. All right, hold on. It's not working this time.
It'll work. It'll work.
Let me get that up there. Oh, here, got it. Oh,
Here comes this beautiful bear coming into focus.
hey, why is this not working? Perhaps I moved it too much. Here, come on, come on. I'm tapping the screen, Ben. Nothing's happening. What
Man, well,
happened?
I can't tap it for you, unfortunately.
Aha!
There we go. Oh my goodness.
Have you ever been so happy in your entire life as you are in this moment?
Oh, I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
I love the cheeks. I love the
Yes.
eyelashes. I love the hair.
Part of the problem with how I saw the images of this set come out is that it was like people having, early access to the bag and sending me pictures of the bag, and the bag, of course, is all wrinkled. And so I was like, why is her head misshapen? But I think it's an excellent shape for the bears. It can be used for the cubs and the full grown bears in the game, and the printing I think is fantastic. It really captures her bangs and her little like corner eyelashes and the fun original Fabuland sparkle in her eye. I don't like the so much the Animal Crossing characters that have eyeballs, just like I feel the same way about the Fabuland uh, um, figures themselves. But here we have it. Here all together is our beautiful Maple's Pumpkin Garden, the set we've all been waiting for. I don't know why they're only giving it us limited resources for it, or a limited quantity of it to be a gift with purchase with the first wave. Um, we talked a little bit about this on Sunday, but there is a second wave planned for August 1st.
Yes, I believe you know about 2 brickheads and 2 sets, but that's about all we know.
I know about two bigger sets that are coming out. I think they are the higher price point sets,
Okay.
but I don't know what's going on with those brickhead sets.
Maybe they'll be April 1st. We know there are a few things coming out April 1st. Brick Orphanage suggests she needs a classic space torso and air tanks. She could become a space bear.
That'd be cute. Wouldn't
I
mind that.
guess.
Oh, and for M&R Productions, in case he's watching, we can always do a short for this for him. If M&R Productions ever gets interested in Animal Crossing, they do have helmet holes, so you can put accessories in the tops
Hope,
of their heads.
hopefully they're in the right location because apparently that's a big deal for the Star Wars nerds.
All of them
Wearing
do.
the Star
Yeah, they
Wars hat today representing, but
yeah they probably want them on the sides of their heads for like the antennas and stuff, right?
yeah, but there's this whole controversy with one of the sets, and I'm not going to say I remember which one, but they
Ooh,
pictured a helmet that had head holes in them, but they were in two different They were in a different location in the renders than they were in the actual set, and it like set a bunch of people off.
You know what? I don't think that's too nerdy. It's nerdy for sure, but I don't think it's unreasonable for them to be upset about that if they were excited about something, especially if they do a lot of army building, especially if they had a specific figure or like a specific character from the Star Wars
Yeah,
universe that they wanted to be represented, they thought would be represented really well with the helmet holes in the spot where they thought they would come up. I think I've been upset about
defended
far more
them.
nerdy things. A
Well,
bit. I mean a
yeah,
bit.
I think it's less that and more so just that's I think where kind of some of the genesis of the helmet hole
Okay.
debate has come from, is that it's
Yeah.
not just that they're there, but they're in the wrong place in a rendered image.
I mean, I've
Glenn
definitely.
Kirk, great, another theme a man will want to
Oh,
add to the display.
Glenn Kirk is here. Glenn Kirk is one of our charity fundraiser coordinators for Chicago. He also does Brickworld Indianapolis and most of the time Fort Wayne. I believe I want to say he's been to Detroit before. Am I making that up? Anyway, Glenn Kirk is one of my favorites, and so is his entire family. His daughter, is this new?
Yeah, I wanted to show you this quick.
Oh, nice. His daughter is actually working Brickworld Indianapolis. We had to round out our staff, and I was like, can your preteen daughter help us manage Playbrick?" And she loves working for us. She worked Brickworld Chicago. She worked the
Okay.
exit door and Playbrick. I went up to her at one point at the exit door and I was like, "How's it going?" She's like, "This is kind of boring." I'm like, it's a fast paced job, and like you know you got to be there. Making sure people have their hand stamped and like make sure they have a nice day and give them postcard for next year's show, all this other sort of stuff. We didn't have postcards for next year's show. I lied. We had stickers, and she was just like, "Yeah." It was like she was like, I would say mentally understimulated by it. I was like, "All right, well, I'll get you working as our staff accountant next year, ma'am."
There you go.
This is fun. I like that. I like this giant transparent dome. If I was 2007 Mark right now, I'd be like, I'm gonna build a space dome city because they're coming out with all these great domes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's in a
so
lot of sets. Is this like the trans brown
well,
here?
that's kind of what I'm thinking. If it is in this theme, it might be trans black, but rendered more nicely or photographed more nicely so you can see through it more easily.
Yeah.
Or maybe it won't be so bad to see through with the dome on all four sides. But this one was announced essentially, I think
Yeah.
on Saturday before we did the live stream, and I didn't
Oh, nice.
notice it till after.
Right, because we were so excited about the Friends rover. Real quick, I just want to
We
tell Glenn
were,
Kirk that we always appreciate his entire family being there. We did a bunch of great shots for social media last year with his son helping them set up the display as well. So everyone gets involved.
yeah,
Great family there, the Kirk family, and they again charity fundraiser for Chicago. Glenn and Amanda run it, and if you're coming to Chicago, please consider bringing something to donate to the charity fundraiser. It goes to benefit Lurie Children's Hospital and Make a Wish Illinois. And last year we raised a very lot.
a
I
very lot.
I can't remember exactly the amount. I believe it was well over 50,000. Um, it was quite the record. So this is specifically city space.
It
There's
is,
no
yes.
friends in here. Okay.
Yep, and this is so they have a space lab set, and I can pull that up here in a second. This is definitely more of a looks like an extension to that. It has a very similar door on sort of the main city space set. There's a couple other interesting little bits on this though, like the alien in the spacesuit. I absolutely love. Glenn tells us last week
Right
we
at
were right at
50K.
50K.
Yeah. So Glenn, who are you? Ben. See, they rhyme.
Ben,
Um,
Glenn.
are they moon basing us here? Are they trying to make like a city moon base standard happen?
Yeah, I mean they could be, because one of the things they were really promoting is this piece here that I've got my mouse over,
Mm-hmm.
this double tomato soup airlock piece. They very much promote that it's
Aha.
intended to connect various things together.
Okay.
So you could probably add this to the space base. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the promo images they show how it could fit on the space base.
What on earth is
Um,
happening under the dome?
they're growing some sort of crazy alien tree, I think, but I don't know.
I guessed that at first too, but isn't it just a bunch of inverted 1x2 by 3 arch, the inverted slopes.
Yeah, it's also got these arms
Root
coming off it
things,
though. I
yeah.
think it has a couple other pictures.
I
Let's
see some
go.
flowers in there. Yeah, let's check out. Is this Brothers Brick or is this Brick Set?
It's your favorite. It's Brickset.
Boo.
Um, but we can
Just
open a
close those
couple of
ads
these.
when they come up.
Yeah,
Those people, we're
we
not
got
getting
the
any of
whole
this
thing.
advertising money.
So here it is. So here it is right here, as I mentioned. Here's the space base.
What does that QR code bring you to? Where's my phone?
Yeah, I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, I don't have my phone on me. I left it
But here you
upstairs.
can see it. It is like a tree here in the
Yeah.
center. I also like that the hover ship is intended to take the guy
Oh,
in the
cool.
wheelchair around.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then you
Yeah.
can see the domes here, also still very transparent. So I'm guessing these are going to be
Trans
um,
clear.
no, I think they're going to be trans black, but I don't know.
Okay. They look
Because
trans black from the first image.
yeah, and they kind of look trans black up here, and they were definitely trans black in the
Oh,
space base. But there you can see the connector
so Ben,
right to it.
when I went to Target on February 28th, hoping that they would break the rules and put all the what's it called? The
The Animal Crossing
Animal
sets
Crossing
out
sets
early.
out
Yep.
early, I ended up picking up this.
Ah, yes.
And as we talked about, I believe it was on Thursday night, um, the fact that you could connect this to the big Friends modular set,
Yeah. Yep.
which I didn't know, and is rather cool that they had like that thing going on. Perhaps they'll do more with this city space stuff. Perhaps they'll start doing that more with Friends and get some more like Friends towering cities going
Yeah.
out there.
Well, I know for sure that the Friends rover does connect to and can use parts from the other Friends space set.
I also have to agree with Brick Orphanage
So
here, but it looks like a giant walking carrot to me. It looks like a mech carrot
almost,
with
yeah.
flower hands. I
Yeah, and
mean,
I don't really know what the top is here. Like the top helps the dome connect together, but it's sitting on
yeah.
top of this
So it's probably they built this
alien
lab
structure.
around a piece of alien rock, and there's alien vegetation growing on it, and they're
Yep.
studying that. I think is what's happening.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're harvesting it for all their batteries or if they only get that from the crystals that are scattered around.
Or
They've
maybe it's a
also apparently taken this alien in, and kind of the funny thing here is right outside the alien doesn't have the helmet. He
but
comes into the
inside he
base,
has the
needs it.
helmet. That's
Yep.
really cute. I mean, maybe it isn't a carrot mech after all. Who knows?
Who knows? But
Only time will tell.
there was one other picture. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
can't
that's
see that one.
alien rock.
This one's
Yep.
definitely the best of the pictures. There were some lifestyle shots too. We can talk about them full show sometime because
Okay.
that's always fun.
Yeah, we've been at this
Um,
for a half hour, so we can end whenever you feel
yeah,
comfortable ending.
totally,
Unless
totally.
there's more news to go over, I don't really have
No,
any.
that was the thing. I just knew that we missed this one, and I'm like, man, this would have been perfect in our segment, so we might as well get it in the bonus episode. But
Yeah,
we can pull up.
we could talk about it again on Sunday,
Yeah, let's remove.
and we'll have the people that join us tonight will just be a little bit ahead of the game.
Yeah,
And there's our little lady. There's our beautiful, beautiful maple. I guess there is one more thing I can share with y'all real quick. I'm not going to say exactly what this is for, but it was something that needed to get done, and it's finally off my plate. While not fully, this needed to be finished. And let me see. Hold on, real quick. I had this trouble on ACOB on Thursday night where I just couldn't see the. Oh, here it is. The small list of screens that are open, and I have 1,000 screens open. Um, that's a screen I haven't seen before.
ooh,
Let's see. So let's go ahead and take Maple out for a moment. I did it again. What's with this view? There we go. All right, come back in there. Where did it go?
it's here. There we go.
There, got it. Uh, so that's just a thing I designed that people might see in some form. Coming, yeah, it gets new.
Yeah.
Remember the first one I showed you? Let me see
I
if I can
did
pull that
see
up.
this
Actually,
previously.
yeah,
This is quite a bit different.
yeah, it is.
It's got some legs that it didn't have before. It's got a couple other adjustments. The head I think is somewhat similar to what was there before, but it is definitely a bit different as well.
Yeah, let me show you
Um,
where. Let me show you
so
what you
yeah,
were looking at before. So it went from. It went. it's this now, but this is what Ben saw at first. I wish I could pull these up next to each other. Maybe I can do this in Photoshop. But for now, just keep it fresh in your mind what you just saw. And then this is where it started. This was the first thing I showed Ben, was that.
Yeah, I would say it was very, very sprightly, kind of the way you had it shaped.
Yeah.
There's a few. Looks like the head is largely the same, actually.
Yeah, this is actually the second version that you didn't see.
Okay.
So the head you saw was different and
Yeah, I
much
didn't
less
think it had
detailed.
the whiskers and the horns were a little different, but
To be completely honest, this is just a ripoff of the Auspicious Dragon because I was like, I do not know how to fix the head that I made. That head was perfect for 2015 or no 2018 whenever we did the potion shop. That head was great for the globe that I built, for the crystal ball that I built. But I was like, this just ain't flying. So this is basically the same structure of the Auspicious Dragon with a couple of changes.
okay.
Um, but I'm like, okay, perfect. It's the right size. And then I just went through and built the rest of the body. But yeah, so that became this, and we'll see where we see this as Brickworld fans in the future. Maybe for some reason you'll see it in 2025.
Mm,
I'm like, what year is it?
yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people can figure it out, but yeah,
there you
got to
go.
get that, got to get parts for that ordered
It looks like
tonight.
it
So I'll
looks
be up
like
for
we've
quite a
got
while.
yeah, it looks like we've got some fire, some air, some wind, some water,
Yeah,
some other stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what it could mean.
I don't either. I
There it
wonder what
is.
the I also wonder, just on a completely different topic, what the theme for Brickworld 2025 is going to be. We'll probably mention that at the end of Brickworld 2024, the closing ceremonies this year.
We usually do.
Yeah,
The only thing I can say about that, it was lovely, but needs more mech.
I know,
So,
I know.
just throwing that
I
out
was
there.
instead of going with the angle connectors, which is the way I go, I'm like, let's think like Ben and put some
Ball
bionicle bricks
joints.
with ball
Yep.
joints in there. Yeah,
Yep.
or
Got to
bionicle
get
brick,
that in
Technic
there.
brick. Yeah, and so that makes it a lot easier to articulate and it looks like much more of a body that way. I was just like channeling my inner Ben.
Well, that's good. That was a wise choice, I think. It was definitely different than before. It looked like
Did
you
you
were going for
did you
different things. So
did you pull this one up? Brick Orphan, it said they subjugated the carrot people to hold up their
that,
domes.
that sounds like something that um,
The dystopian.
subjugation complaint. That sounds like something that I'd hear from a
Yeah.
sovereign citizen. So
Right,
it's
right.
giving me flashbacks.
Stops it. Might be one of my new obsessions, the BuzzFeed articles about horrible posts from men on dating apps.
Hmm.
Subjugation does come up, actually.
Ah, how about the word gaslighting? Do you see that a lot too?
No, but I see the process.
Well, I mean
It's
that's
it's fascinating. I guess I'm
totally.
not. I shouldn't be surprised, but yeah, if you're ever bored and you want to fall down a BuzzFeed hole, look
Yeah.
up horrible Tinder profiles or whatever. You'll
Well,
find it.
I don't know. How late we want to do this, but we actually have 8 people watching us. Do you
I
actually
know.
want to
I'm so
see
impressed.
what I'm working on?
Have you done some work in
I
just
did a
two
little bit of
days?
work because you
Yeah, let's
teased
take.
me mercilessly for the
I did
fact that I
not.
basically had nothing done.
Oh, I didn't know what was going on.
So I felt very bad for myself.
I really thought you were teasing us that you like put the fake thing together and like you were gonna like pop this brand new castle on, and I was just like, what?
No.
Oh no, I got like surprise castle blue balled, I guess
So
I would
here we
say
go.
is what happened.
So I can show you
Sweet. Look
where I
how
am
good we are
now.
at like switching cameras and
All
doing
this stuff
stuff
now.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I've got some rocks now. We can switch these.
there you go. Oh man, you're such a show off. You're very good at rock work.
And I got a little path up.
This would have taken me like 5 days to just figure out and it would have looked half as good. And you've done this in less than 48 hours.
Little path up, and then I
I
got to
love
get
the
the
path.
drawbridge over,
Sweet.
and so we're making a little progress. But there we go.
I love that you showed us like a flat base with like just different color base plates on it. And we're like, this
Well,
is not.
you got to know where it starts to know where it's going.
Aubrey thought it looked exactly like a castle.
I thought it did too. But there we go. So on Sunday, hopefully, we'll have even more progress. Maybe I'll actually have the start of a gray wall on this thing.
I can't believe you
But
turned
there we
yourself to
go.
the dark side and you're going to build castle.
It's just for the memes and for
Shocked.
the
Oh,
lulls.
gotcha. Oh, good, good.
It's definitely not because I'm going to enjoy it
Right.
or
I was
anything
hoping you
like
weren't
that.
losing your soul. I was very worried for you.
No. What do you think of these pretty plants? Are they out of place? Should I scrap pretty
No, no, I
plants?
don't think they're out of place at all. I think that
Okay.
I really like the technique. As I said, that's why they started giving us these bigger ABS plant pieces for us to work with. I like the angle that you got those at. Um, and I like the mix of the colors of the flowers. One
Yeah.
thing I will say is the two different flowers throws me just a tiny bit.
Yeah,
Um,
and I did one down here that was all one color. So
yeah,
do you prefer that
no,
when it's all one on one stem at least?
no, what I don't, I think the colors look great. It's just the fact that they're different flowers growing on one plant, I guess
Okay.
is my
Yeah.
stickler comment there.
Yeah,
But
I
it
mean,
still looks pretty.
I did that because the part on the inside is this
Mm-hmm.
the little
Mm-hmm.
stem piece from Olaf's head. They were on the pick a brick wall.
Yeah.
So I have a whole bunch of these
Sweet. Oh, that's
little
what you're building
guys.
those off of.
Yeah, the one in the middle is based off of this.
Oh,
How
I would have
annoying!
thought.
How
Oh,
annoying
I
that doesn't
yeah.
focus very well. Let's see if I
Right?
can even hold
You
this
gotta
up
tap
high
the
enough.
back of your camera and be in front of it at the same time. That's what I
There we
had the
go.
trouble with Maple's pumpkin garden.
I'll try this again. It's a very tiny piece.
Yeah, you gotta tap your thumb.
Yeah, I got it. I know.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I just learned that myself. So I thought
It's hard because I gotta hold it in the right place when I tap it.
I yes, and then you have to hold it still.
Yes.
We know what pieces it is either way.
Yeah.
Does that do better, you think, than the actual like three-pronged plant stem?
Well, so I'm using
There.
both. So
Okay.
I'm using the three pronged for the
Hmm.
outside, and then this
And
on
then
the inside.
smart.
But in order to get the flowers to hang out, to stick
Hmm.
out, I needed these friends versions here that have the
Yeah.
longer stem on them.
Well,
So I could switch these over to these perhaps if I have enough of them.
I think
Um,
you can also
but who
stick
knows?
the just from experience, you can stick those friends flowers through the leaf into the larger plant stem.
Yeah. So I could try that and mix it up.
Mm.
But look at this. We're actually getting a
They
little
do. I
little
love
regular
the
uh
colors. Suzanne
regular action
Quijano.
here.
I think she's been here. Yeah, I think we've had her before. I remember trying to pronounce her name.
Hydrangeas, perhaps Brick Orphanage
The dual color
suggests.
reminds me of hydrangeas. Yeah, good call. The dual color. I don't mind the dual color. It's the dual
It's
shape.
the dual
Yeah,
shape, yeah. And I
and
I
that's
don't
what would
know if I
suck.
have
I think
a
if they were
bunch of
all,
these pink ones in a different color. So
yeah, I know, and they don't come in a lot
um,
of colors. I think they only come in red, white, and yellow, or
okay,
flame yellowish orange, or something like that. I don't
yeah.
think they come in a lot of colors yet, which is still disappointing me. I look them up every time I try to build something. They will go through that, sure.
hmm And I mean,
Um,
it can take off the purple one too, but you know, but
yeah,
yeah,
I like the mixed color. If we're gonna, if there's, I would say I could live with the different shape flowers, just because I really like the color and the texture of it.
yeah,
That was being really nitpicky. The I'm jealous of how easily you can think of how this rock shape should look because I'm so stuck on the snotted arches and slopes that I always forget to change directions. And I bought an entire thing of those,
yeah.
not clicket hinges. What
The mixel joints.
mixel
Yep.
joints? There we go. So I could do more of that. Actually, I wanted to build a round wall with them, but that didn't work out. So I hope to use them more with to kind of fix some of the rock work that I've done lately because I think I did good rock work on Oasis and on some other things that I've done, but I think I can definitely up my game, especially watching what you're so capable of in such a short amount of time. Like I really rack my brain doing rock work.
Yeah, it's not always my favorite. This is some of the more intricate angle type stuff that
I
I've
love it.
done.
Yeah, I
But
love it.
but I'm trying to make sure, the thing I'm going to struggle with a little bit in the castle itself, right? Because we're doing this based off the knight's castle, is relatively rectangular. I don't know if it's quite square. It might be, but it's not very big. But I'm trying to, keep the rock itself from
Okay.
looking like just a big rectangle here in the
Yeah.
middle.
Well, don't
So
what was that noise? Don't uh, don't constrain yourself by the size of the base that you built.
It's true, and I won't to some extent. I mean, it's going to be the idea that it extends off in different ways. I'll probably cut a corner out and build a tree and do some other things to
Yeah.
reduce it some so that it's not quite as crazy. I also was thinking about building a tree over here where the roots would actually go off the edge of the base plate.
So the
So
you said the drawbridge is going to go over
yep,
a
over this right
ravine,
here.
but not
Yep,
over water.
right, because the knight's castle, it's all green on the base plate. So I was just kind of like, well, kind of the way this is designed, is it just in a forest somewhere? Why do they have a drawbridge? So kind of sticking with a ravines type idea or some grass type idea, not
Uh-huh.
going with water. And so down in here in this ravine, I'm going to put some vines or something that you wouldn't want to fall into.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Will eventually be the idea.
I like
But
that idea.
for now, I'm trying to get enough rock work on the face to build up a top up here so that I can start deciding exactly where my castle will go. Obviously, the drawbridge has to go here.
Yep.
One downside to the knight's castle is that it's not particularly asymmetric.
Right.
So we'll probably add a little asymmetry. I definitely want to keep the red frame around the door.
Okay.
But after that, who knows what it'll look like.
Well, I fully endorse
So
the asymmetry.
so there we go. At the very least, the base will be very asymmetric
Yeah.
as it goes. So
100%. I'm
so
looking
yeah,
at
you
something
you you
here.
made me feel bad about where I was with it, and
That's good.
made a little progress.
Good.
So
Glad I lit a fire under you. Sorry, I didn't mean to scar you emotionally.
you did. I cried a little bit, but I got
Oh,
over
I
it eventually.
apologize. Let's see. What is the set number on the original? Oh, found it. 6073. So let's see something real quick.
Yeah, it's just sitting back there, obviously too.
Yeah, I know. But Google found it for me faster than I can ask you the question.
Just spin it, move it, touch it,
Oops, don't do
reel it.
6037 because that's the dragon balloon from the Fright Nights.
Oh yeah, we don't want that.
Mm,
I've got the
yeah, I mean
instructions here.
all the product images make it look like it's just in the middle of a desert.
Yeah, I know. Here's the instructions.
Yeah,
These should hopefully stay in focus.
I thought I remembered
I
seeing, but
actually
maybe
got
it
the
was probably, you know what it
instructions.
was? I was gonna look for catalog images where they had like a fake river underneath the drawbridge, but I think that was the Black Falcon's fortress.
Yeah,
They used to do that with, or maybe even a later castle, because apparently castles only exist in sand.
that's why they're yellow, I guess.
It's
I
very
don't know.
weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, all these
You know,
pictures.
these are crazy how the old instructions this one only had 24 steps for the entire castle.
Really?
And it's not like they were less efficient with use of
Oh,
um with using lots of interesting parts or doing sub builds. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean 24 pages for
I mean, they
this
also
entire
like
thing.
it's a pretty small set, and they have all those pre-built walls.
Right. And they do
Yeah,
have a couple of assemblies, but look how fast that goes. Right?
yeah, yeah. No
This would be
kidding.
4 pages in the
I
new Lego
know,
manual
right?
just for that little sub build.
Yeah, they're trying to make it easier on people
So
nowadays.
yeah. So anyway, there we go.
That's
Uh,
great.
we'll
I
have
haven't
to
built
see.
anything. I've only
Well,
built Maple's Pumpkin Garden.
I
I
just
can,
saw you build that. That you were
yeah.
very efficient.
So I built something, I suppose. Yes, you are correct.
Yep.
Maple's Pumpkin Garden. I got to practice saying it because it's not easy to say for some reason. Maple's
Maple's
Pumpkin Garden.
Map Mabel's no
No,
Maple's
Maple's Pumpkin
Bumpkin
Garden.
Garden.
I
Way to
know,
go with
right? I
that.
said that earlier. Maple's
Yeah.
Bumpkin Garden.
Maple's Bumpkin Garden.
Well, and what's interesting again about that is they have like it gave us the opportunity to see like several different new pumpkin colors because there's 5 different pumpkins in the game, at least 4. I don't remember. It's like
Hmm.
orange, yellow, white, green, at least 4. So
Yellow, more
and they just gave
yellow.
us the orange.
Well,
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm a little
Just a
sad.
color that already exists. Don't they have that pump? Isn't the pumpkin mold also what they use for the lanterns? So they have them in
Yes.
red
And dark tan
and dark tan. Okay,
and orange,
right?
and I'm not sure anything else. Because I
Yeah.
looked at it for the pagoda house to see if there was anything that was like blue or white or like, something more fun than I didn't want red on the pagoda house because it's blue and purple already, and I just didn't like. I don't like Lego red anyway.
Yeah. Well,
My
and that's
least
the
favorite
other
color.
other thing I'm trying to decide is if I should do the gate because, it's red and on the original, which is, I wonder if it's probably one of these things where they made it red because the crank that they had came in red and that was
Right,
like what was
right,
available. But it's
right.
iconic enough on that
It's
one and on the mini set that I want to keep
yeah,
it red. I just don't know if I want to use regular red or dark red.
and they're like it's a warm color, so it represents a different type of stone. Like they didn't have a lot of options when they first started the castle line. So
Yeah. So we'll have to see how that forms up too. The one advantage that dark red has right now is that it's much easier to access in the Lego room than regular red.
there's that.
So that
So that's
gives it a harsh, very strong advantage.
a very specific Z Cerberus advantage, but also I
Yes.
think it looks better with light gray than regular red
Yeah.
does. I mean, to be honest, I love that set because it was the first castle set I ever got. But damn if it isn't hideous.
Yeah, I mean you can just from here you can just see like how the red's asymmetric in a bad way. The rest of the
Yes,
castle is symmetric.
that weird plate that's just sitting in there.
Yeah.
Like we talked about that,
So
and it
we'll see
still
if we
drives me
can
nuts
clean
every
that
time I
up a
see
little.
it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I still say you should just leave a random bad placed. You want to honor the set. It's an homage to the Knight's Castle,
It is.
to
It is.
6073. So you should probably leave a poorly placed
It
like gray
is.
plate somewhere.
So there we go. We've
Beautiful.
made a little progress.
Yeah.
It's like regular old think outside the box today.
Yeah.
But
Looks like,
really,
hey, I'm big, you're little. Hi. Ah,
now
it's
I'm on the
over.
wrong side. Look at that. I
Ah.
fixed it.
Well, I've got two other boxes of Lego sets to open.
Oh
See what
yeah, you skipped those.
it's well, they're upstairs, and like,
Oh,
I mean, I have to leave the dog a path to her bed, and yeah, I didn't want to drop anything on her either. And plus, like, I'm still putting the basement back together, so I didn't want a bunch of crap down here. I'm going to shove all this in my closet of shame. And a year from now, I'm going to be like, here's the Palace of the Eastern Dragon or whatever it's called.
hmm
I haven't opened it yet. A
yeah,
cool pieces in that though, like a lot of really great pieces. Actually, where is it? Oh, there it is. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
So
hey, nice little bonus mini episode. Thank you for agreeing to join me.
hey, this was your Super Bowl. I can't bust your Super Bowl. If they release an orange spaceship, we can do an 11 o'clock episode for a
Oh,
mini
hell
figure as
yes.
well.
Oh, well, anything new that comes out with a lot of tomato soup, we can do the same thing.
Oh yes,
I was gonna say, like,
the soup
I
cans.
I had a really busy day, and it was really productive, and I felt motivated, and then I just hit a wall, and I was like, I just want to go to bed. And then I got
Mabel
back from the
shows up.
gym. Yes, there were 4 boxes from Lego on the front porch,
Oof,
and I was like, I got a second wind here.
my
And so
day.
then I started texting you, like, look who's here. And I was like, I'm gonna build it on live stream tonight. Hint, hint. And then finally you're like, well, you didn't ask me if I'd join you. And I was like, I 100% thought I did, by the way. I thought I had sent out there. If any of you want to join, because it's on a text with Ben and somebody else. I was like, either one of you wants to join me, please feel free, blah, blah, blah. And Ben was here before I was actually. So that I appreciate that a ton.
The kids are in bed. I was like, hey, I can come push the banner buttons for you, and you're like,
I gotta
well, I told you you could come. I'm like, well, actually, you didn't, but that's
I
okay.
don't. I wouldn't know how to do any of that stuff without you. So I am very glad you're here because I really would have been like just sitting over there talking. My audio would have been off. Like,
Oh, he's got that. But there we go. Brickworld Crossing meets Think Outside the Box special
yep.
episode. Mabel here, Mabel here, Mabel here,
Maple.
Maple here,
There
Maple
we
here,
go.
Maple here. Mabel's not here. Maple's
Yeah.
here.
Well, as the chat's dropping off, I think they know we're wrapping up, and I think that's a good sign for us that we should wrap up.
Definitely should.
Let's give a we've played the last outro quite a bit. I meant to make an outro out of your new Fortnite video. I would say, yeah, absolutely. If you guys like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Feel free, of course, to comment even as we're closing down. If we see a new comment come out, we'll shout it out if we can. But yeah, I think we've got our new outro number 5. Um, let's go back to one of the older ones real quick, and I'll get your Fortnite one up for Sunday because
Awesome.
it's a cool one. Actually, since we're talking about crossover, let's play Ben's first Fortnite outro.
Sure.
All right, dude. What do we say before we leave?
Well, let's just remember Our friend Bob Ross says, hey, in life, in artistry, in mocks, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Welcome, Brickworld family. I'm one of your normal hosts, E. Cerberus, here on the Brickworld channel, where we come at you live every Sunday on Think Outside the Blocks, our weekly live stream where Brickworld owner Mark Larson and I talk about all things LEGO creativity, including our own builds and the LEGO news. But today we're coming at you with something a little different, and that's because I've been bitten by the LEGO Fortnite bug, and I've spent a lot of time trying to move resources from one biome to another. I've come up with my best solution, which is to build an airship that can transfer a large amount of resources in between the various locations. As you can see here, I have 4 large, actually I think they're epic sized chests in the middle of my airship here. And then I have thrusters attached independently to these little push bars so that I can fly my ship in every direction. You just saw there, you can find other YouTube videos about how to make a simple airship. But for me, I wanted to build something a little more complicated that was capable of transferring large amounts of things, such as all of the bright core that you see here, from one biome like the desert to another like the Frostlands. So in order to transport all this stuff, I had to come up with a system to have a whole bunch of chests, these large chests like this, able to be moved from one biome to another. There's a pretty simple way to make a hot air balloon featuring a single platform or maybe even a few balloons where you just add weight to one side or the other to make the platform turn. I, on the other hand, went a little crazy here by creating 4 sets of thrusters that are independently controllable via these switches to move around the lands. That also necessitated that I build some sort of landing pad for my airship in the various biomes where I like to gather resources. And the reason that I did this is because if you park an airship on the ground with a bunch of chests in it with some material that you want to transport from one biome to the next, you could run into trouble if your airship gets destroyed by a mob. Usually it ends up being a brute. Or if you park too close to the shore, it's possible that your airship could end up sinking into the ocean and you could lose everything inside the chests. So what I do